just want to throw a few things out here tonight or today and get you ready for tonight's broadcast only on Blaze TV. If you were somebody who listened to me in 06 and 07, especially in 07, I was freaking out in 07. Do you remember before the collapse? Like the few months before the collapse, I was desperate to find anyone who would verify or take it apart and say, no, Glenn. But everyone I met with, they would always get down to the argument of, you don't understand. There's so much money that is involved here. The systems will hold it. It's not going to fall apart. And I'm like, I think you rely too much on these systems that no one can really explain. I think you're wrong. And in 07, freaking out a little bit and saying, please pay attention to what's going on. I feel exactly the same way, but it's not necessarily about the economy. It is about the economy, but it's the whole thing this time. It's the whole thing. It is going to dramatically change all of our lives, and it is going to hit you financially like nothing will ever hit you. And it has happened 2 other times before in American history where we've changed our currency. And this is just one little piece of it. And generally speaking, every time that we have had to change our currency and go to, like, for instance, the last time this happened was in the 20s, we went to the greenback. Once you do that and you change, the old currency loses value and it's only worth about 60 cents for every dollar. So you'll lose 40% of your savings when it happens. And it is going to happen. And this is why they're talking about a digital dollar. The Fed is very clear. This is the way they're moving. They are right now trying to make sure they know everything that you are doing. If you put in or take out $600 at your bank, the federal government is going to be notified. Now, they say they're just going after the rich, but I know a lot of people that take $600 out of their bank account and are not rich. I know a lot of people that put $600 in their bank account and put it in and they're not rich, take it out and they're not rich. I mean, when you're moving $100,000, $200,000, then I could say, oh, you're probably pretty rich. $600? Again, it's about control. I want you to understand that your country has fundamentally changed. You are no longer living in the country that we all thought we were living in. And I think you know that by now. When the National Archives say that our founding documents are racist and they need trigger warnings, what happens? What's the next step? There's only 2 steps to go from there. You say, that was a crazy time, right? Right? When we were burning all the art and the books. Oh, we were stupid. That's one. The other one is, well, we knew they were offensive. We got to just get rid of them. Just put them away. They're too offensive. We're not doing that anymore. If your government and your archives are now saying that your founding documents are racist and offensive, how much longer will they be? They may be preserved forever, but how much longer will they be in use? You can't say something is racist and offensive and then still use it. They are walking us to an edge. The latest is now the airlines should shame the frequent flyers. If you used to fly with the airlines and you had a lot of air miles, you would get perks. Everything is up. That was down. The entire world is inside out. Now they're saying we should shame the frequent flyers, not give them perks. Now, this takes everything that we know about business and turns it upside down. Why did the airlines say frequent flyer programs? Because they knew people were traveling and they wanted them to travel on their airlines. They wanted the money because it helped their airline. If you are saying don't fly on airlines, how do those airlines not become Aeroflot? How do those airlines continue to innovate and give you great service if they are telling people not to fly? Well, they need to tell people not to fly because that's the only way they'll get their little green stamp from the government because air travel is so bad. They're upset that Easter this last year was up 800% from the year before. Well, of course it was up 800% from the year before. Nobody was going anywhere the Easter before last. And so it's up 800%. That's bad for the environment. So what is that going to do? Well, that's going to mean that we have fewer choices in airlines. Now, they say that they're not getting rid of air travel, but I'm guaranteeing you air travel will go back to the way it was in the 1960s, which is kind of nice. You know, fly me to the moon. When that was happening, it was a jet-setting kind of thing that I'm gonna take you down to the beaches, baby, and we're gonna go with the jet setters. It was for the rich. It was for the famous. You got dressed up. It's going to be that way again. You're not going to get dressed up, but it's going to be that way again for the sake of the planet. Now, what does that do? In some ways, it might be a good thing because maybe our families will stay together because if you can't fly, and of course your evil car is going to cost you $8 a gallon in gasoline, you're also not going to drive very much. That's just two things. That's the price of gas and the idea that we shouldn't travel as much by air. Think how much that's going to change our lives, all of our lives. This is just one thing. And let me go a little deeper on that one thing. Right now, the banks, Citibank has just gotten on board with BlackRock, where they are no longer going to give anyone a loan that is building any kind of fossil fuel plant to be able to create energy. Now, I don't know if the geniuses, and they do, I don't know if the geniuses have figured this out or thought of it, but when you are going to an all-electric car, all-electric vehicle-based economy, you're going to need more electricity, not less. Tonight, I'm going to show you the 5 categories that made America great. And I'm not talking about, well, I am kind of. I'm not talking about America is great because America is good, although that does play a role. I'm talking about what made the United States of America the powerhouse that it always was. Because in the 20th century, something happened. And we became the powerhouse. And it's very clear what those things were. And right now, all 5 of them are being dismantled. And I mean dismantled in an epic pattern. Inflation is out of control. You know it, and I know it. You can't get the goods and services that you've always counted on. Do you know that there was a time before COVID that one ship in the port of Los Angeles, one ship waiting was a big deal? Okay, they can move these ships through the ports like crazy. One ship waiting was a big deal. And that was usually cleared, within a day. There are now 73 ships, cargo ships, off the coast of California waiting to dock. The docks are all screwed up. COVID, they don't have enough people to work, yada, yada, yada. That's why you can't get anything. There's 73 ships waiting to put things onto our ground that you might be waiting for right now. I'm sorry, but I don't believe all of this is happening just because of COVID. The government is playing a role in keeping people off of work. They want UBI. And they also want to train you not to work, that it's easier just to stay home. We can't play into that. They're also doing everything they can to hurt farmers. I'm going to show you what they're doing to farmers tonight that I believe, I truly believe, and I don't mean just farmers here in America. I mean farmers all around the world. This is happening on a global scale. I truly believe this idea that they have and are implementing now is as dangerous as Mao's 5-year plan, which caused China to starve to death. I believe by 2030, if we don't wake up and start standing up as a people and going, whoa, 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 whoa. No, my elected official never put that into law. If we don't start standing up and demanding that these agencies are under control, I believe global starvation will hit epic levels by 2030. So what can you do? Tonight I'm going to show you the scenario of the 5 categories. It is the plan to make not only the United States, but every country that's not already Venezuela. It is the epic takedown of the West. And I'll give you some things that you must do to prepare. That's tonight at 9 o'clock on blazetv.com/Beck. blazetv.com/Beck. It's worth joining just for tonight's show. You will get information that I don't think you're going to get anywhere else. And in a few weeks, we have a COVID special that I guarantee you will not get anywhere else. And if we do anything that you find worthy, please join us. We need your support. It's blazetv.com/Glenn. And the promo code is, Glenn?